Fido was so dramatically different from my perspective and my background, just because it wasn't your typical TV researchers, it wasn't your typical TV consultants. It was a group of people who have valuable opinions, very valuable business expertise, but people we would never tap into. We have experience with consultants, and often that group works at a far different pace than, we get focus groups, we get that back pretty quickly. I saw, after the first pitch, I saw your business model as sort of the perfect combination of the two. I was fascinated by the speed, and to have that speed with the expertise and the diversity was really interesting and unique.
When you look at the process, it really kind of allowed us to outsource. The problem when you're in operations, particularly in a business environment that requires a lot of your attention to ensure that you're kind of right on operationally and running the business with the maximum efficiency, just in order to handle what's going on in the marketplace, to be able to kind of outsource, with a level of confidence, outsource an element of creativity and outsource of innovation, I think was helpful to us. And I think, the fact it was online and it was visible, so, it didn't require 100% of our attention, but if we wanted to give it 100%, we could get in. If we didn't want to give it any, we could get out. If we wanted 10, 20, 30. So it allowed us, within the framework of what we have to do, to also balance what we want to and need to.
It was a very rewarding and positive experience, but it was not exactly what I expected. And I think from a process point of view, one of my early concerns was that it was going to be very labor and time intensive from our part. And in hearing the way it was described, I thought it was going to be, we were going to have to go online for each of the sessions, or there was just going to be a lot of back and forth, and it wasn't like that at all. So it was wonderful in the sense that there was, information gathering in the beginning, but I was surprised at the amount of research that the whole group did. And we could participate, but we didn't have to, so that it wasn't time intensive and it was really up to us. And so in that sense, it was, it was also actually more freeing than having it be online than having it be an agency where you have to meet with them and schedule things. So it was a very sort of positive experience that I wasn't anticipating.
The most interesting thing was how inspiring it was to think differently.
First briefed us on the pitch, I was intrigued because it had the social networking component. It was like, the professional Facebook message boards, but I was a little skeptical about the value of the return. Just to be honest, I wasn't sure, but clearly there was such structure behind it and rigor in your process and your time frame, and that for me, seeing what you came back with, what the group came back with, was so impressive because it was very broad, some great broad vision, but then some very specific actionable items from viewers, from people who are, have their own expertise, but are also just viewers.